Spice. They're talking about my spice.
Here comes two.
Hi, I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
I'm Chris.
And we're I Beat It First. Yay!
Oh my god. Amazing.
How about my spice?
Oh, I was going to ask you guys which of my beers I should drink first, but then I was like, oh, I need to crack one. So I guess I'm just going to crack one, and then you guys will choose the next one. Because
You plan on drinking like 6 beers or something tonight?
I apparently hate
yeah.
myself is
getting
what I
tilted.
do. So, but it's if I get to 3 beers. But I brought 3 beers up out of the 4 beers that I have.
Oh god.
So,
Oh god.
I was
just
at
remembered what you
Costco the
said in
other
Slack.
day, and I saw beers, and I was like, "Ooh, new beers! Oh, new beers! Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
fuck it, I'll do it." So, anyways, apparently, Harpoon Brewing Company has a pack that you can get at Costco, which I love that they call this it's a limited release, and yet it's sold at Costco, which means that's a lot of them. It's time limited, I guess, much like an Xbox time limited exclusivity goes.
Right.
But
And
anyways,
Harpoon's based out of Boston, so
Yeah.
limited is in like you're getting this in a Costco on the other side of the fucking country.
yeah, this is limited my ass,
Limited.
motherfuckers. Anyways, the reason why I say I hate myself is it's a 12-pack of Dunkin' Donuts beers.
So the question that I had, and the reason why I didn't buy this, because I saw this, and I'm very excited that you did it. Although not overly excited, because I know no matter what you drink, if it's not absolute dog shit, you're gonna say it's all right, and it's gonna be very ambiguous to everybody else.
No, I have said I am very clear on whether or not a beer is good. If it's I'm like if it's bad, or if it's like even like remotely like not good, I'm like, no, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Now I will drink every beer that I crack, and I will drink
sure.
any beer that I order at a restaurant, even if I do tap roulette, because I'm the asshole that thought it was a good idea to do tap roulette. So whose fault is it that they don't like the beer? Mine.
And if you go to a tap room that has like enough beers that you can do tap roulette, and you don't like any of the beers that you get, then maybe you should really think about what you really like, because it's not beer.
Yeah, it's not beer.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can like a
Maybe you're at the
specific
wrong
type of
place.
beer. You sure can. You can be like, I only like IPAs. We've been down that road before tons of times.
Yeah.
But then you shouldn't be the type of person who's like, you know what? I only like IPAs. I'm going to roll this D20 with a chance of only getting 2 of them. So let's go.
oh look,
Well,
you're the asshole.
chances are of getting an IPA doing roulette is pretty high.
that
True.
depe-
Yeah,
it
especially
depends.
at Trumpet.
That depends. Yes, at Angel Trumpet you can. Okay, so in this case though,
Or
I only
Sleeping
have
Well.
one IPA. I have Dunkin' Midnight, which is the one that I just cracked, and this one's their porter. I have a blueberry matcha IPA. I don't know how that's going to go. And I also have a Dunkin' Pumpkin. So these were the first 3 that I grabbed out of the fridge. So I might die.
What are the I mean, they don't sound horrible. My biggest fear was that they'd be way too sweet. I didn't want them
I
to
have
be
no idea.
donut flavored.
Yeah.
6.6 and 5.6. So they're not low in
Yeah,
alcohol.
so they're not just sugar.
Han,
It's not
Han,
like
I will-
it's not like a seltzer,
I will do the midnight, the porter.
right? Which should be the least sweet.
Tastes like Dunkin' coffee.
So
You know me.
are they coffee?
It's
Are they
like-
coffee? So are they coffee flavored then?
This one
I mean, I
is.
guess that
But
makes sense.
the other one's
Like,
blueberry
well,
matcha,
should they all
so
be?
I'm assuming no, it's not coffee flavored. But the pumpkin one, I'm assuming is supposed to be like their pumpkin spice coffee.
For sure, yeah.
But this one is Dunkin' Midnight. Like they don't have anything special written on them other than Dunkin' Midnight. So it's just a dark beer. And
Dunkin' Midnight.
Dark
Drink
beer.
it, bitch.
well, and here's the thing is, like, normally a porter's really fucking dark, and so is black coffee. Dunkin' Donuts coffee is not, though, and neither is this midnight. This is a very brown midnight.
Wow, you're gonna call it midnight and have it be like, this is more of like a,
Dunkin' Donuts
afternoon.
coffee. Okay, so and it's not like a huge knock on Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Their standard roast is a medium roast, and medium roast is not dark. It also is one of the higher caffeine contents, so that would be why a lot of people prefer Dunkin' Donuts over some other ones, because a lot of places will do like a dark roast, and the longer you roast coffee beans, the more you cook the caffeine out of them. So it makes sense. It's just that, yeah, it's about as light as Dunkin' Donuts coffee, which isn't very light, or it's about as dark as Dunkin' Donuts coffee, which isn't very dark.
Hey, you know what? For a pack,
I have
from
honestly had worse porters though.
Oh, for sure. I mean, okay,
This is
yeah,
this
that makes...
is actually not bad. It's not great.
Oh,
It's not
did I
bad.
just
But no,
ding?
hang on.
Did I just
But it's
ding?
not bad, but it's not great either. This gets like a 6.
Eric's beer reviews, as usual, ambiguous as hell. Try it yourself.
I gave it a number. It's like a
If you
6.
like it.
It's not chocolatey. It's very low on the coffee flavor, just like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's just like it has like standard dark beer, almost like as dark as like a honey nut brown. Like it's brown. It's not.
Oh
dark.
my
It's a
gosh.
brown beer.
Brown beer.
It is. No, actually, I changed it. It's a
I
5.
like the name of that.
It's a 5.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
a
right,
5.
we're getting better.
It's not a 6.
We're getting better
It's
at
a
the
5.
at the not as good. I will say this though, that Harpoon though is a pretty good brewery. From out of Boston and stuff like that. There's a lot of breweries out of Boston that aren't bad or are really good. And
That
cool
aren't
spot.
bad.
They aren't bad.
They're not bad.
They're not bad.
I
But
wouldn't
it's not
say
good either.
Pretty good.
It's not bad, but it's also not good. So
Well, what I meant is that there's just a lot. There's just a lot of them there.
There
It's just
are a
like,
lot.
holy shit, there's a holy crap ton of them.
Roll D20.
Oh yeah, you easily could of breweries, man.
the one that scares me the most is that blueberry matcha.
That's the one I was looking forward to the most because when I was reading, I was like,
But
I can't imagine what that
blueberry
is.
Matcha
Have you had Big Blue
IPA.
Van?
But
You had Big Blue
but
Van.
blueberry matcha IPA. And yes, I've had Big Blue Van. I have a beer, like a mixture named after me at Oso. That's Big Blue Van and Sonoran White Chocolate.
So then you're pretty much already there. And, they have IPAs all the time that are super, super fruity. So, I mean, it's not that big of a distance.
No, it's the matcha. The matcha.
Oh,
that's
it's
throwing me
probably
off.
Yeah.
matcha.
But I don't know. But that's the part that's throwing me off is the matcha. I'm like, like blueberry, yes. Blueberry IPA, I totally had that. Blueberry.
Well, I mean,
matcha
you have a
IPA,
blueberry green tea. You have a lemon lime green tea
but
and
mixed
stuff like
with
that.
the
So, I mean,
hoppiness of.
well, that's why I
we're
think
gonna
it's
find
maybe
out,
going to be
dude.
closer to a hazy side. Yeah, we're going to find out. Right.
We're gonna find out.
This pack intrigues me like
crazy.
this pack intrigues me like crazy. So that's why I was like, I want to talk about it and know everything about it. That's why I'm giving you such a hard time.
Yes.
So.
Good. What are you drinking, asshole?
I did the other new group pack at Costco
Wait,
right
which one?
now, which is Hop Valley.
If I saw the Hop Valley one there.
Oh man, Hop Valley they have a brand new one that with all new beers I've never seen before.
Two
from Hop Valley. Hop
Costco's
Valley,
5 miles apart, and they have
beers.
different things at them entirely.
Well,
a lot
I
of
saw
times.
the Harpoon one, the Dunkin, the Hop Valley. I'm
which
drinking
one's that?
2 of them out of there right now. I'm drinking right now. They're all IPAs. Hop Valley does IPAs like crazy, and they have one of my favorite IPAs, which is their Cryo Stash IPA, which they use I think it's called Cryo Hops or whatever it is. Anyway, Cryo Stash.
Oh
is
yeah,
one
we
of my
talked
favorites.
about that before.
And anyway, now they have a few more, and they have this Operation Vacation, sorry, which is a Cryo Hops vacation. Whatever. But then the one that I really like that I'm drinking right now is called Stash Bandicoot.
Does it have a mustache on it? I want to see it.
No, it's just
Ah.
I know, but it's the hazy Imperial IPA with cryo hops, and you know what? These are good. These are good. Oh Jesus, they have a paragraph here. Stash Bandicoot packs a punch with our stash of Citra, Anthem, and Chinook cryo hops. Discovered in a
Chinook?
juicy
Wait.
juggle with
Chinook?
Chinook.
Like the fucking helicopter Chinook?
Chinook.
I think that's right. I don't think it's Chinook. I think it's Chinook.
I think it's Chinook. Apricots, red berries, and in this hazy imperial IPA. 8%. Holy fuck. No wonder why I like it. Damn.
Yeah, Chinook helicopter. Yeah, that is it. It is a Chinook. Chinook.
There you go.
Oh man. All right. And Chris, you're still doing your cleanse, right?
Yep.
Getting
Nice,
fit,
dude.
looking trim. Look at Chris. He's looking all sexy and svelte. Yeah. Got his new haircut and everything. Oh, man. All right.
Did a little cardio workout today.
Nice.
Well, so before we get into news, which normally, like, right after we talk about our alcohol, we talk about news. And we're going to talk news-ish, I guess. But for anybody that doesn't know or wasn't here, we did our 24-hour stream for Extra Life on the 6th, which is Extra Life Game Day. So that worked extremely well. We had an amazing team this year built up, and I just want to make sure that we give a shout out to everybody. So we had us that streamed for 24 straight hours. Jason and I stayed up for 42 straight hours, which fucking sucked.
That last 2 hours was donkey for sure. That was nuts.
Bulldog Omega, who stayed up for the full 24 hours. The Anesthetic, who I think she stayed up for the 24 hours, but she was in and out of ours, kind of doing her own thing, which is perfectly fine. Shroomy Doom, who I don't know how long she stayed up. I don't even know if she went to sleep by now. Like a week and a half later, she might still be
Still
awake.
gone to sleep now,
still
but
playing.
I was talking to her afterwards. She was like, "Yeah, I just couldn't go to bed." So I'm like, "Just gonna stream again."
Might as well stream some more. Why not?
I can't go to sleep.
Les Vestige, who streamed for half the day, but he already did a 24-hour stream in September for Extra Life, so he gets a pass on that anyways. Nico Kitten Fox, who had to work, but she came in and streamed out the rest of the night with us. Dreamy the Nightmare, who streamed most of it. She made it 20 hours, and all the sugar and energy drinks kind of got to her, and she petered off and had to dip. Lady Rose, who streamed when she could. She had stuff to do as well. And then we actually picked up 2 new people that are on the team that haven't been able to stream yet, but are going to be doing it for the remainder of the year, and that's Caleb Barnes and our good friend Kaleidoscope Fox. But so we have a huge team, which is awesome. And because of that, we made $3,300 or $3,347, and I think it was like
That's
49
phenomenal.
cents is what we have so far going into the end of the year, which is fucking great. I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The team like really came together. Everybody worked together. We had, if you came in and you watched, like we had the weirdest looking stream. At one point, PCH, Phoenix Children's Hospital, actually came into our stream. So they're like, oh, there's a party going on in here, because we had so many different windows up of everybody that we were doing it with and the games that we were all playing. We had a lot of fun playing all in the same room, so the 3 of us all were crammed into Jason's office.
Yes.
And we had everything set up so that we had that. Plus, then we could switch back and forth between each other. We had a cam that we dubbed the slap cam, because we had dollar values where you could pay us to slap each other. And it was fun. I want to thank everybody that did come out, everybody that donated, everybody that had fun and did everything, because it was an amazing, amazing day, even though I had to chew 3 Carolina Reaper gumballs.
They weren't that bad. They
weren't that bad. No, they weren't that bad at all. And actually, that's so
The
I say,
nerds,
like,
I think, were the worst for me.
it's the afterburn. So if you just keep chewing on the Reaper gumball, it's fine. Like, you won't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just keep going until it's gone, then you don't have any problem with it. But if you do that 1 minute thing and then you spit it out, like, that afterburn sucks. But it's not as bad as the
it burned my
milk.
tongue, but it was the nerds for me.
I was told that while everybody was hoping that watching me do the gumball was going to be funny, they actually, like, while I was just sat there and deadpan just chewed on them, they were most excited about watching me try and drink milk, because I fucking hate milk. And I was like, nope, Nope, that's not worth it at all. Like, get that shit away from me. That's disgusting.
And that's why when I went back and like made like clips with like the nerds and stuff like that, I didn't do one of like the three of us having the gumball because like we're just.
Yep.
I'm like, this is not funny.
Yeah.
We're just chewing.
Yep. I mean, it's
Watch us three
especially
fat
Jason
cows
and
chew our
I-
cud.
yeah, especially Jason and I who do a lot. It's just like, this is not hot. Like, it's hot, but it's not. I want to spit this out immediately hot, like you see on a lot of YouTube channels and stuff like that. And they didn't dial back the recipe at all. So
No,
there's
it
a lot
was
of
it
people
was
out there
definitely
that
you can
can't handle
tell that
spice.
yeah, you can tell that if you've never had it before, you weren't knowing what to expect, that it could be a shock and stuff like that. But yeah, Eric and I grow reapers and all that pepper, and I make my own hot sauce, and it's like 4 ingredients, and most of it's peppers. So I go crazy with this stuff.
I do still want to try the dust. The Reaper dust.
I would be more interested in the dust if it wasn't like pixie dust, if that makes sense. Like if it was like if it was like a fun dip. That's what it should be.
That's
You
basically
have like a
what it is,
Reaper
like a
fun dip. Nah, it's way too powdery. Like if it was more granular of a sugar, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm being picky because it'll make a mess if I try to eat it.
No, I want to get a fun dip, take the stick out, and then eat the Reaper dust as a fun dip. See?
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that next time we're together.
We'll do that. We will do that.
We'll do it on stream.
Anyways, thank you everybody
What if we,
that came out. Thank you everybody.
Take a gumball and just roll it in the dust
We got to get it wet.
and then chew that.
We got to get it wet first, and that would be weird.
Gotta lick them balls, Eric. It's not that hard.
I'm not licking balls on.
You gotta get the
stream.
stick and the ball. You gotta, get them all. And then
I want to put my balls in it.
my stick and balls are gonna go in the powder. You ever do some schneef off a stick and ball?
Capsaicin crystals are just. I'm sorry, chat. No, capsaicin crystals are just dumb. It's just dumb. Straight capsaicin tastes like ass. That's why extracts are horrible, and that's why hot sauces made with extracts are horrible. Like, they have to do a lot to cover up that taste of extract, because that capsicum extract is just gnarly tasting, and it just ruins everything. So yes, I'd say dip them in.
Yeah, pass on capsaicin. We like 2-3 years ago, we did the hot sauce festival out here in Arizona, and they had a burrito eating competition where they did hey, you have a Filiberto's burrito, which is just a typical hole in the wall Mexican place out here, and all they did was take like 1 or 2 ounces of the pure capsaicin and just like drizzle it all through the middle and then roll it back on up. And even then, and I did it, I took on the challenge, and it was horrible. And even then, even in a full like carne asada burrito, all I could taste was that dirty ass like chemical taste that capsaicin has. And it's just like, why would you ever want to do this yourself? You can get better stuff. Like there's a hot sauce called The End, and there's one called Once Bitten or Black Mamba and stuff like that. Both of those are insane, have tons of the oil in it, but it's a great blend of an actual pepper that's not going to just taste like butt. And then you just dip a toothpick in and run it across your burrito, and you have a fantastic meal.
Yo, now you know, everybody. But yes,
now you know.
Thanks again, everybody that showed up. Thanks again for everybody that donated.
Yes, thank you so much.
We have our new goal set at 4,000. Our original goal was 3,000, and we want to crack 4,000 before the end of the year. So if you've got money and you want to donate, please look us up. We are team number 56318 on Extra Life. You can find us there, or just search IBeatItFirst.com on there, and you should be able to find the team. And we really, really, really look forward to finishing off this year strong, and now like really going into next year strong. I think that forming a team and getting as many great people as we know in on it to help throughout the year will definitely help a lot. But just the efforts of the one day did a tremendous.
And I think we had a good format. I mean, we learned a lot, and I think we can make some better changes and stuff like that to make it way more interactive and fun. Mm-hmm. But I think that the setup that we did was fantastic. Props to Eric. I mean, I just had like a few ideas, and Eric was just like, yeah, we can do that. I'll make that happen. And I was just like, okay, good. I'm going to sit here at my desk like I do every single goddamn day and do nothing extra. You make that all happen. I'll put you right over here somewhere, Eric. We'll be good.
But that's
We'll make it work.
literally like what happens at work. Someone goes, "Hey, I think that we should do something like this," and then they look at me, and I think for a second, like, I think I know how we could do that.
What? That's why you're underappreciated, Eric. That's why you're underappreciated.
All right. Well, now that that's out of the way, again, thank you, everybody. We are going to move on to news. That's right, everybody. It's news. News.
Kids on the beat. Kids on the street. Bit kids.
Beat kids. Kids on the beat.
Beat kids.
Kids on the street. Beat kids. Beat kids.
Beat kids.
All right. Okay. All right. So, Chris, you want to do this Metal Gear one that you wrote in there?
Oh, that wasn't me.
I wrote
that was you.
Yeah, I contribute sometimes, and that is that everyone's talking hand over heels about Halo 20 or
It's
Xbox.
not just Halo. It's
20
the
years.
Xbox 20th.
It's the Xbox. Well, okay, Eric, you know just as well as I do that when we were showing the original Xbox back in the day, it wasn't an Xbox.
Halo TV adapter.
It was the Halo TV adapter. If you want to play Halo on your TV, you need the Halo TV adapter, which is called Xbox for some unknown goddamn reason. And so here we are 20 years later, still making that joke, which is still 10 times as funny. Meanwhile, I'm one to remember that on November 13th, one of my very favorite games, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, also came out. And that game gave me more of a mindfuck than I think the entire convoluted storyline of Halo ever did.
I mean,
Metal Gear.
Yeah, the Halo storyline wasn't like that crazy. But yeah, they did do the.
Are you kidding me? They had the Arbiter. Then you go down to the planet, and there's a giant plant that apparently can tell the future and has destined you two to be saviors for some reason. Thanks, giant piranha plant guy. Now go sing in a shop with Seymour. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Shoot things.
Japan had been doing
Totally
it
makes
for 20
sense to
years
me.
already.
Oh, for sure.
That's why I said it wasn't
but
that
just like,
convoluted. It
wasn't anything new. It was just like, where the fuck? Why do that? Like, they could have done anything else. It's just like, then all of a sudden be like, and here's Akira for some reason. It's just like, you can do anything else. Akira's not the only anime on this planet. I promise you, there's others.
It is. There's other anime. I don't believe that. That scene is literally us just rewatching Akira over and over and over again, talking about that movie.
I swear we haven't watched this before.
No, we're just looking for new things to talk about. That's all it is. But yeah, they did do. Microsoft did do their 20th anniversary. They literally showed off absolutely nothing new except for the fact that they have a documentary about Microsoft.
About the Xbox, yes.
The creation of the Xbox, and I guess it's Xbox over the years because it looked like they were going into like the Red Ring of Death and all sorts of stuff. So they're going deep
Full
into doing
20-year
all this
history.
Stuff. Yeah, so they're gonna do that, which is kind of cool.
20 plus, I guess,
that.
because they're going to creation of the original one. So 20 plus.
Yeah, true. But I'm looking forward to watching that. I did like that they brought The Rock out, even though he basically just shilled his new movie that's on Netflix. And then they were like, yeah, we have this cool crossover. You can go into the Microsoft Vault or the Xbox Vault and get all this cool stuff, including an oil painting of me from the original Xbox unveil. And I'm like, why?
I would rock that in my bedroom.
Yeah, so you could fap to it. Oh, yeah. I did like that he made fun of himself, though, talking about his sunglasses that he wore on stage. He's like, I don't wear sunglasses indoors. And then that very, very late 90s, early 2000s suit that he wore up there as well.
Glad I didn't bring out the fanny pack.
Yeah.
And look, I used to have hair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because it was not Dwayne The Rock. It was The Rock.
It was The
that
Rock
was
at
up
that
there.
point.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was...
It's definitely that persona.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And now he's doing The Rock Johnson.
All right, so they also
I thought they did a pretty good job with it, too, for what it was.
They did. It wasn't like... it wasn't like a jerk-off fest by any means. They did a very good job of just talking about things. But the problem is, and they went into it saying there isn't going to be any new announcements. and there were no new announcements. And you know what? For your 20th anniversary, I would have thought they would have kept like one or two things, just a couple things here and there that could have been announced during that. And that
you get an Xbox and you get an Xbox.
Some type of sweepstakes, some type of giveaway even would have been good, like anything, and they didn't do anything like that. The big thing that they announced was that the Halo Infinite beta is now fully open today, the multiplayer beta. Yep. So rather than waiting for it to come out in December with the main game, they released it today. So you can hop on and you can play that game, or you can do what Microsoft did on their Twitch channel, and instead of playing Halo Infinite multiplayer, you can play Forza on the show that is designated for Halo Infinite multiplayer, while one of the people installs Halo Infinite multiplayer on their computer. That they showed her doing it on screen, and they played Forza for almost an hour during this Halo Infinite multiplayer live
Look
stream.
how easy it is to install. Get Game
To be
Pass
fair,
today.
It was super easy to
fair,
install for me. It took almost no time.
it's the full experience then, Eric. Like, watch me order pizza in a hate shame spiral as I get destroyed 800 times online. I'm gonna alt tab over to my Domino's delivery beacon, let me know that I'm gonna still not have pizza for 15 minutes. Oh joy! 5 more rounds for me.
I'm cracking open this beer.
I'm gonna crack open another beer and wonder why my wife left me.
God. But it was painful to watch, and I just had that up. Like, I actually just, like, the thing ended, and I was like, I just had it up on my screen, and I went about doing work, and then I looked over like 20 minutes later, and all of a sudden this thing's up. I'm like, huh, that's not right, and that's not right, and that's not right. That's definitely not right. None of this makes any sense. So, of course, I screenshot it, pointed to all the arrows that said, now playing Halo Infinite multiplayer, and then the one arrow going up to Forza Motorsport 5, or Forza Horizon 5. I'm like,
no, you're not. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No.
But, again, we don't want to be accused of being PlayStation
playing
fanboys, because they did a good job. Microsoft is still doing a good job.
We can't be that, because every single episode of this goddamn podcast, we probably tote at least 5 times that Game Pass is the best deal in gaming right now. There's no way that we can be accused of PS4, PS5 fanboys, because we're just like, motherfucker, buy a Game Pass. And there's like, by the way, though, we played Genshin on our PS5s, because fuck off, whatever else there is to buy on a PS5 right now. And but the Game Pass, though, would I have ever
Game Pass?
Forza? Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, for example, would I've ever bought Forza on my own, looking at my Forza purchase history? God, no. But here I am playing 5, being like, hey, you know what? It's a fun little racing game. I can see myself enjoying this because I paid nothing for it. Well, I paid for the Game Pass,
you paid
but I played other
games.
games.
You paid a fraction of $10.
Right.
Which is all that you needed to pay. So that's perfectly fine. And that's the same thing as like whenever like anybody that like Back 4 Blood even. Back 4 Blood included in Game Pass. People that shilled out $60-$70 for it. I'm like, why did you buy it when you could have paid $10 for Game Pass?
You would have found out in a weekend. Nah.
Even that though. Even that. So it's $60 for Back 4 Blood. Okay, it's $60 or $70 for Forza Horizon 5. That's 6 months worth of Game Pass pay. And at that same point, you can also download a couple other games. You can play those games. You can do all of that. Like, you've got all these other things, and then you finally paid for that game in 6 months.
I mean, chat's talking about physical copies and owning your games, which is 100% true. I'm one of the big proponents of physical stuff. My bookshelf right here is just full of my physical games because I love them. But as we've discussed in previous episodes, this day and age, you don't own your games anymore. You don't. Because what's going to happen to Forza when Microsoft decides they're not going to have any service for that anymore?
Oh, thank you for the segue, Jason. That brings us right to another good piece of news.
Wasn't it so good?
By Square Enix, by Bandai, sorry, not Square Enix, will be delisted from online stores soon. Which, it didn't do super great. People bought it, people liked playing it, but we played at E3, wasn't that great, yada, yada, yada.
Clunky. It
Here's
got
the
annoying
shitty
real
thing.
fast.
So they're delisting it in a few months, and then about 3 months after that, they're just shutting down the servers for it completely. So online multiplayer completely gone for that game. And the thing that pisses me off is that it's so short from the delisting to the shutdown of the servers. Like, you want to delist it and not sell it anymore, that's perfectly fine. But you're still selling it, and then someone's going to pay for it, and then 3 months later you're going to shut off online servers for it. That's fucking bullshit, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's no longer a $60 game. And then also, a lot of this is for licensing, not so much for the game itself. So, yes.
But you should still be able to keep the servers up.
I agree. But, I mean, they, like you mentioned, they made nothing from it. It's not something that should have been made, in my opinion. But this isn't the first game that's done this. Oh, God, what was it? There was one that was like a police. I want to say it was Brink.
I think it might have been Brink. Yeah.
Where they get something similar. It was just like, hey, it was one of the first games back in the day that was like, this entire game is played online only, and it's online multiplayer, and that's how you progress and everything like that. And people lost their minds, being like, what do you mean I have to be online the whole time? That makes no sense. Game didn't do so well, so a few months after release, they shut it all down. And then I remember picking it up, being like, fuck it, it's like $5 right now because everything's getting shut down. And I jumped on it for like the weekend that it was remaining. I was just like, this game's actually kind of fun. It was like a 5v5 or whatever it was, shooter and stuff like that. And then it was done, and it was just like, cool, new coaster. I love it.
Yeah,
and I mean, you can play offline with bots, which, if you ever played Overwatch with bots, super fun. Yeah. So it's just like, there's no point. So that's why it's like anymore, like if you have a game that's just like, I am looking for this, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy remake, stuff like that. That's just like, This is a game that I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's a fantastic single player experience. Everything's fantastic about it. Witcher 3, for another example. Yes, physical all the way for me, hands down. I'm gonna pay that extra $50 for that $10 soundtrack because that's the kind of consumer whore that I am, and I'm gonna get that shit right away. But for these games that I'm getting on Game Pass, 90% of these games that I'm playing on Game Pass, I never would have bought in the first place.
Yep.
And I think that's what's making the difference.
That's the big thing. And yeah, and that's what I wanted to make sure I reiterated is it's like, yes, owning physical copies is great. If you never would have bought that fucking game in the first place, though, who gives a fuck? I don't. I wouldn't have bought Forza, primarily because I don't own an Xbox and I don't want to own an Xbox. I might buy Gran Turismo. Playing Horizon 5 actually is kind of like giving me that itch to get back into racing games as well. So I might actually really pick up Gran Turismo and do that. But I won't buy Forza because I'm not buying an Xbox. There's not a lot of games on Xbox that are Xbox exclusive that I want to play. Horizon 5, that's one. But Back 4 Blood, that's available everywhere. Like most of the other games that we've been playing on there, they're everywhere. One of the games that I played that I'm going to talk about tonight, it's like, sure, it's on Game Pass, and I played it on Game Pass, but I could have easily picked it up on Switch. Could have picked it up at other places. I could have played it on PC for all I care. And that's the big setup. So Game Pass is great, and it is still the best value in gaming. It is not the best value in Xbox, though.
No.
Yes.
See, there's our commercial, Eric. We did it. We did a good job.
We successfully said that Microsoft is great and shitty all at the same time. All right. Speaking of Game Pass, if you sign up for Game Pass Ultimate now, you get Crunchyroll Premium for 3 months, which is really fucking weird to say that, considering Crunchyroll is owned by Sony now. This is a very, very strange thing to say.
We get some money.
Yeah, I mean, just like with the Blu-ray disc, Sony's still getting money for their Blu-ray disc technology and all that jazz like that. So.
Oh yeah, no, but that's really strange to put in like a Sony service tied in with a Microsoft service. It's really weird. But I mean, hey, if they want to pay for it, then go for it. But I mean, hey, Crunchyroll Premium is worth it in my opinion if you really like anime.
Yeah.
So that's just like an extra little thing that you get, and that's fine by me. Let's see here. Bethesda wanted to make sure that they reiterated The Elder Scrolls 6 will be an Xbox exclusive. They actually just like had an interview just to state that.
But well, one of the things I took from the article that goes back to the whole Game Pass thing of Game Pass being a great value for games that you wouldn't necessarily pick up anyways, was one of the things of, I think it was like Todd Howard being part of Xbox now, was thinking about games with Game Pass now in the conversation was, you know, it's like, oh, this would be a really great idea for a game. We should maybe try to make this game. And then you just sit in these sales meetings and they're like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. That's not going to make money. We're not going to sell enough copies now.
Yeah, like, will we break
but now
even
with Game
on
Pass,
that?
Yeah. But now with Game Pass, they're like, we can
Fuck
make
it.
this game now.
There's money.
Fuck it. We can find an audience now because it's Game Pass because people are just going to download and try it
Yeah.
because they don't have to shell out $60.
Yeah, it's a much better avenue for them, and it's a give and a take. Like, we still haven't seen how the money works on the back end, and that's one of the things that we've talked about with Game Pass. Is like, we don't know how the money works on the back end for that. But if they are making a good enough amount of money off of every play, I'm for it for the devs, and the devs seem to like it. Like, nobody's shying away from Game Pass and just saying fuck you to it and walking away. And it's been around for a while now. So
Microsoft seems open to working with the devs on what works for them too.
Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of good things going on with that. But yeah, they want to make sure they reiterate that it is an Xbox exclusive, meaning it's also probably PlayStation, or not PlayStation, PC. So just so you know, if it's Xbox exclusive, it's most likely
exclusive.
PC only. So that's probably going to happen. But they wanted to let you know that. Like, seriously, the fact that they just did an interview about that is just hilarious. Let's see here. Keeping with Xbox news, sure. Phil Spencer says that they are looking to acquire casual and social game developers for Xbox in the Xbox Game Studios brand. Which is fine by me. I honestly don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Oh, they took forever. I mean, even with ID at Xbox, you know, they still like dragged their feet on really getting behind it. And they seem to only really want to support diamonds in the rough. And it was just like, hey, we'll give you pennies for the dollar for your hard ass games. And I don't know. I'm happy. Again, it just goes back to what they're doing right now. Even if they're losing money hand over fist, what they're doing is right. They have 3 dudes right here, right now, that are just like, yeah, I'll never buy an Xbox my entire life, but I'm fucking giving Microsoft money every single month. So they're winning in that aspect.
Chris buys Xboxes. He just hasn't bought it. He just hasn't bought a Series X.
Right, he bought the Xbox One or whatever, and then he
had a
never played
360
it
before
ever.
that. Yeah, he never played it, but that's just because Chris doesn't play games.
Everyone had a 360. Everyone had a 360 except for you, Eric.
I did.
Like, you're the only one that didn't have one.
I didn't have an OG Xbox either. I had an OG Xbox when I inherited it from CompUSA, and then I still never hooked it up and played it. If I played Xbox, I went to your house, and that was it.
Yeah, you played it at my house all the time whenever we'd go to LAN parties. That's true.
Or we would
but
play,
I modded mine out.
GameCube at your house, too. All right, before we get into
Crystal
other news.
Chronicles. Woo. Ooh, beer interruption.
Which one?
Matcha, man. Do the matcha.
Okay,
we all know what pumpkin's going to taste like. It's going to taste like ass.
Man.
I want the matcha.
I figured I would ask.
Matcha
I didn't know if you
man.
wanted to wait until the last. All right, we're going to do the Dunkin Blueberry Matcha IPA. Oh, God. Why did I do this to myself? Like, I voluntarily did this to myself. I was by myself at Costco, walking around and saw it and was like, yeah, I hate myself.
Because it's like a 16-pack, though, isn't it? So you have, like, 4 of each of these.
3 of each of these. It was a 12-pack.
So 12-pack.
3
All right.
of each of these flavors.
I'll come over and help.
All right. Blueberry Matcha IPA.
I bet you it's banger. Yeah, there's the face of it. It's like, I don't know. I'm willing to bet. And in that can, you're probably gonna be like, this is my favorite.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
that is actually pretty good. There is a matcha taste to it, but it is very light. And it actually surprisingly balances well with the hops for the IPA. Like, that's actually pretty damn good. Big Blue Van is better, but Big Blue Van is a fucking great ass beer.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I don't like Big Blue Van.
Oh, I love it. If
So,
you like blueberry
yeah.
beer, if you like blueberry flavored beers, like you have to like those. Oh, we lost Chris. If you like blueberry flavored beers, Big Blue Van is a good beer. Like it's really fucking good, and I love Big Blue Van. Like I will drink Big Blue Van not all the fucking time because it can only take so much of it. This is pretty good.
That's
though.
very sweet.
It balances out the sweetness a little bit.
That
with the
one,
matcha.
that one did honestly strike me as the one I was just like that I dialed in on. If that pumpkin one wasn't pumpkin, it was like anything else.
Yeah.
Like if it was like even like gingerbread, like just to be holiday themed, I probably would have bought the pack.
If
But it was just like I don't want more pumpkin.
I'd have fucking had that one first. Because that would have been a good note for me of like, is this going to be good? Let's find out. But the one that I was the most like skeptical of, is actually pretty damn good. Not going to lie. All right. In shocking news, Nintendo has said when their next console is coming out. That's right, everybody. They have said their next console will release the year that Mega Man is made, 20XX. And if you think I'm joking, they actually had a PowerPoint slide specifically notating, and it was like they had the GameCube, they had the Wii U, and they had the dates of release and everything, and then like the Switch, and then next console, just a square, 20XX. Which
So the Robot Apocalypse
Yep.
will bring the next Nintendo console.
Yes, exactly. And that's not entirely surprising because the theory is, and the reason why everyone keeps saying Switch Pro, but the Switch Pro isn't necessarily going to be a Switch Pro per se. The Switch Pro is going to be an evolution of the Nintendo Switch, much like what they did with the DSs. And as you went through the entire DS life cycle, it was the same cartridges that played the same games, and they just got progressively better, and they got stronger, and they continually just kept boosting the power and boosting the specs on it incrementally as opposed to giant leaps and bounds. And I think that that's what they're going to do.
Cool.
That's probably what they're going to do. It is the dumbest and also the smartest play.
Yeah, I mean, least played console. If I take into effect of how I'm playing Forza, least played console is my Switch.
In the house?
In the house.
Are you sure?
Totally. Yeah, my wife is
factoring
all
in all
over
the
Animal
hours
Crossing.
logged. Yes.
Yes.
Now, I will say that the Switch is my least played console, but is probably the most played console in the house because that's all that the kid gets to play on is the Switch. So he plays a lot on that, and my time is tossed up between PC and PlayStation 5. So I mean, technically, yeah, that would be the most played, but by a core gamer, a hardcore gamer, it is the least played console in their house.
How many hours would you think that you have, or that Ern spends on it?
That Ronan spends on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me
Don't
pull
go
up.
all.
I have
Don't
an
go a
app.
helicopter. Don't go a helicopter parent on this stuff.
It's not helicopter parent. It's like the app shows me time that was spent on it, and it's like monthly summaries are set up specifically for it, and that's primarily just so that like because I have my time allotted. Now the funny thing is it's really hard to tell because he's playing through, I think it's like his 4th playthrough of Breath of the Wild, and he's continually playing on the different accounts that we have on the Switch already. So by the way, Jason, he's now playing on the stupid Jason account. Let's see here. It's not giving me the total number of hours, but it's a lot, depending on days that he's like off from school. And he's been doing well in his grades, and he does his tutoring and everything like that. So we let him play video games on the.
Oh, there's no judgment here.
Yeah,
I broke all kinds of laws to make sure that I could play Toe Jam Earl back in the day. Like I rewired electronics in my house to make sure that I could play my fucking Genesis. Like it was bad. I could have burned the house down. And I was just like, no, I need my Toe Jam. But so there's no judgments here whatsoever about that. I just was curious about the amount of time because my wife spends an ungodly amount of time on the Animal Crossing, and every
Thank
single
God he
time,
goes
just
to
like, what
school.
you, every time I'm just like, Sarah, what's your plan today in Animal Crossing? And she's just like, well, I'm gonna like do all these things and like all these plans, and I'm gonna make orchards, blah blah blah, and then like it'll be like, hey Sarah, I'm gonna go to bed. What all did you get done? She's just like, I pulled up all the weeds and I made this happy face out of flowers. I'm sorry, what?
Pretty
That
much.
you did like 5 things? How did that take you like 18 hours today? Uh,
Our chat's filled with a bunch of Zoomers that don't know what
Toe
Toe
Jam
Jam
and
and
Earl,
Earl
man.
is.
They don't know the good
Yeah.
games. You don't know the
Oh
good
my
games.
God,
There is a new
fucking
one,
hate
Toe Jam and
myself.
Earl, that will be played on more recent titles and consoles, but yeah, that's an old school game.
All right.
And he has 3 feet, so he's got
Oh
them
yeah,
for you.
he's got the toes for you, Lucy. All right. Devolver Digital has gone public, everybody, and Sony has acquired a minority stake in their company already.
I immediately went on to go buy some of this stock, and unfortunately, it's not really easily accessible in US right now, which
Yes,
sucks.
no. It's also it's pretty high if I remember right now too.
It's like 140 or something like that. So
140, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like last I saw it, I thought it was like 150, which isn't
it could be. Yeah.
that's pretty high. I mean, that's pretty good for them. Like I'm glad for them that their IPO actually went up pretty high on that. So
For IPO with generic like frames of games like Unity software, one of the best things that you can get on. Goes off like a rocket all the time when new games come out. But Devolver does a good job of having a engine. There's the word I was looking for. Having
I was like,
their own
what
good
word
engines.
are you looking for? I'm like, you've hit every
Looking for
word with
engine,
Unity.
yes.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Microsoft hasn't put in more because Microsoft has been a big Devolver fan as well. Loves working with them as well too. So like shit, didn't they have? Yeah, they had Phil Spencer talking with the alien from what was that game that came out? Oh fuck me! It was like this total like 8-bit. Damn it! I'm gonna find it and then I'm gonna be really Carrion. Phil Spencer was on the Devolver Direct with like talking with the alien monster from Carrion.
You should have said the pussy alien.
The pussy.
And I'd have been like, I got that.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
got
I
that.
know what you're talking about now.
The alien that looks like a Gilgameshian woman or Gilgameshian female's pussy. There you go.
There you go, Lucid.
Oh man. All right. Next, let's see here. So we talked before about how Facebook is no longer Facebook, and Facebook, the company, is now Meta. Well, apparently Meta didn't realize that there was a PC company already named Meta.
Go Meta.
We're Meta. No, we're Meta.
So that's one of those things of like, I guess they had decided that they weren't going to file for a trademark. Like we already talked about that. It's like you can't trademark that, and who gives a shit. But the Meta like PC building company has come out and they're like they made a bunch of tongue-in-cheek like videos and whatnot that they put out hilariously enough on Twitter and Facebook about how they were changing their name from Meta to Facebook. So chat really loves your haircut, Jason.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did it myself. I had my own clippers, and I just literally was just like.
You did what I did.
That's why it looks like. That's why it looks like a hobo did it.
Well, you did what I did on Saturday for my dad. So there you go. I drove out to his house.
Well, legit Saturday. I was just like, hey, I have some plans for the evening. I don't remember what they were now. Must have been good plans. I was like,
I need to
wouldn't
look
mind
like a
having
hobo.
I was like, I wouldn't mind having my haircut because I was starting to get like a good old fashioned mullet going on there. And I'm not quite ready to bust that out again. And I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go get a haircut. And so I pulled up Google and I was just like, hey, all the barbers around me, what can I like book into? And it was minimum 3-hour wait. Like even down to the shitty ones like Sports Clips and stuff like that. I was just like, I have zero desire to spend $40 and wait 3 hours. And I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna go do it myself. So busting them out like I used to do in college all the time because I was poor, and I would just cut it all the time. And
Have you
here we
gone
are.
to Gold Scissors before? They're on Scottsdale and
No,
Thunderbird. You should. That's where I
I
used to
wouldn't
get my
drive that
haircut.
far.
It's not
Wouldn't drive that
Scottsdale.
far.
They're not that far from you.
If I can't spit on it, it's too far.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have like, because I have like 5 all right here. I have like Sports Clip. I have like this Diesel place. I have Goat. I have Godfathers. I have like all like. I must be in like the barbershop mecca capital of the world,
And
because
you
they're
can't
like
drive
literally a billion
2.5
around here.
miles to go to a really good barbershop.
No.
All right. Well, back when I worked over there, that's where I would go and get my haircut. And they actually did a really good job. They even give you like the hot towel on your face.
Everywhere does
the whole
that.
nine yards.
Wait, I live in Scottsdale. If you don't do that, you get kicked in the face. Like that's not how this works. I like a basic haircut, like what I did to myself here, even though it was shitty, granted. But even though this, it still costs around $40 up here. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm just like, I can do that. I don't give a shit.
Okay, fine.
Like in the
you
Zoom
can go to My
mentality,
Girl.
you can't tell how bad it is. Like I can fake it a whole bunch. It's just like, yes.
No, I
There
can
it
tell
is.
how
Looks
bad it
good.
is. It's pretty bad.
No, you can't. It's bad. It's horrible.
It's pretty bad.
It's really bad back
You
here
can
because I
go
can't
to
see,
the-
obviously.
to the girl that cuts my hair and Ronan's hair and Shannon's hair and whatnot. She's really, really good. She's also pretty fun.
I don't want to blue myself though.
I'm going to blue myself on Wednesday, so it'll be fine.
Ooh, can you find out the hexadecimal value of your hair color? I'm going to do the exact
You wanna do
opposite,
the
because
hex
that would
code?
make that would be the best
I
thing.
will do you one better. I will get you the exact tube that it is.
But how do I determine tube oppositeness?
Wait, you want to
And
get
I'm
the
realizing now
get
this is
the
probably going to
inverted color?
be
Yeah.
a little
so
bit
he
on the
needs-
pink
he
side.
needs
Oh,
the
you want to
color
get the
code.
inverted color. Okay, so then I'm gonna have
Yes.
to take a picture of my hair, drop it into Photoshop, eyedropper it, then invert. Okay, I can
Mhm.
do that for you.
Mhm.
I'll do that.
And then find me that tube number. And it'll be like, Jason, your hair color that's the exact opposite of Eric's is hazelnut brown. She's like, excellent.
No, it's not. It's
I know
literally
it's
going to be pink.
It's gonna be
It's
pink.
going to
I
be
know.
pink. I know what it is. It's going to be pink.
I know exactly what it is. That's why I said that. I was like, it's gonna be pink.
And you're gonna do it yourself, and it's gonna look fantastic.
And your
Oh,
hair is
fuck
going to
yeah,
be
Chris, I'll
so
do it myself.
fucked.
$500 to
Extra Life.
life, and we'll have Jason inverted hair colors.
Oh, there you go, Chad.
To-
$500
thing.
and Jason will fucking opposite blue himself.
I will
Inverted blue.
unblue
He
myself.
will inverted blue himself.
I will blue myself to the inversion. Inverted blowing.
All right. Okay, we're gonna go to Good Guy MiHoYo news. So MiHoYo, the Chinese company that makes Genshin Impact as well as a bunch of other games, has come out and officially said on their latest 2.3 update that they are allowing people to commercially sell their Genshin fanfics.
Okay.
But this is the same company that already said, we will allow you to sell merchandise as long as you cap it at 500 pieces each. Like, you can sell all the Genshin merchandise you want. You can put all their fucking characters on it. You can do anything that you want. You just have to limit each run of a product to 500. That's it.
Which is a genius business model,
Super
in my
genius.
opinion.
It's fucking great. Are you kidding me? Making money hand over fist on this fucking game and that. Now, granted, money has gone down on some of the banners. Although they did have Hu Tao, which reran recently. It's actually rerunning right now still. And they're making a good chunk of money off of that because everyone wants Hu Tao. Because Hu Tao is a fucking beast. But still.
Did you get her yet?
I got her. I was on
Nice.
hard pity though. Like I went into her banner like almost on hard pity, and I was just like, well, guess I'm saving up primos. And then I hit hard pity, and I'm like, here comes the 50-50, and then nope, I got Hu Tao. So I did get Hu Tao finally, which is good. And I have her second best 5-star spear to use with her, so I can already use that as well. But anyways, yeah, it's interesting news, and it's a great business model on that end of things. Of like, we respect our copyrights, and we want you to respect our copyrights. However, we will be cool to the nerdy internetdom.
Yeah, because no one's making $1 billion off of 500 pieces limited runs. Like, it's just not happening. So even if you were to like change barely anything on your keychain that you're like spinning out, whatever, Amazon, you're still not going to make billions upon billions. And of course, we're still again talking about a company that's made now so much goddamn money that are just like, fuck, we have 10 years of game, but we could really just stop anytime.
But they won't, which is the great thing. It's like they will.
But they won't.
Not.
Yeah.
They will not just
because why would they? Why would this is now the legacy of everything? It's just like instead of having companies handed down, it's just like, here's my gaming company, son. Please like run it like a piece of shit, because that's apparently how things work around here now.
It just prints money.
It just prints money. Can you draw a little anime girl with big titties? Because do I have a business model for you?
In this case, though, for Genshin, it's can you draw anime girls with deceptively big titties? Like, they don't look it.
I got it.
Like, at first glance, you're just like, everybody's flat. And then all of a sudden,
Baidu's
like,
got rocket knockers. All right.
Yeah. Beto and Mommy Milkers. But at the beginning, like, Jean, everyone's like, all these characters are flat, and then Jean just kind of turns to the side, and you're like, "Oh, Jean ain't flat." and then you run forward, and she stops, and you just see her go, and the boobs just go, boom, boom, boom. Jason's shaking his head as if he didn't notice and didn't like it.
I'm shaking my head. It's just like, of course, that's what you do 1,000% of the time. That's the reason to have Jean in your party, right?
That and the fact that she's the most well-rounded character in Genshin, but that's beside the point.
No. You triple crown Baido, and I refuse to call her
Baido can't heal.
No, fuck off. She can shield like nobody best.
But she can't
if you're getting hurt,
heal.
If you're getting hurt as her, then you're not playing her well.
But you're talking about playing it in a group. So if you're playing multiplayer with it, Jean is the best all-around character. Damage
just
output
tank whatever you're throwing.
But then you can't run off. But the others can't tank. Shields don't extend to everybody else.
Big baby. Go run in the corner, big baby. Beto's here to help you. I'll just be here. Run. 50K? No problem. Got you. Don't worry about it.
So last episode, we talked about how Microsoft was finally letting Twitch return to the Xbox consoles. And like a week later, a Twitch app actually launches on the Switch. So if you have a Nintendo Switch and you don't have a PC or a phone or a tablet or literally anything else that you can watch Twitch on, a Fire Stick TV, any of those, you can download Twitch on your Switch. So
Twitch
do that.
On all the things.
All the things.
Watch us on your Switch. Watch us on your computer. Watch us on your phone, on your tablet, on your TV.
Like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
Hit that bell to make sure that you get notified when we go live.
Oh, we do have a bell. I'm going to turn that off.
Everyone has a bell. All right, we really need to start moving through news because we're running slow on this. GTA Trilogy Remastered has come out, and guess what, everybody? It includes the hot coffee code.
Of course it would, because it didn't change anything.
Well, they did. Apparently the fix, so this is the thing that came out, is that the fix for the game itself, when they like patched it, didn't remove the hot coffee code. All they did was made a patch that made it so that you could not activate the hot coffee code. And they set it up in like different spots all throughout the code that made it so that it will not activate. And that's all that they did for it. So it's locked out from activating at all. So it's exactly the same as it was when it released previously.
Because now here we are 20 years later, and $20 million is dick to them.
To how much
it doesn't fucking matter. It probably would have cost them more than $20 million to actively get a developer to go in there and do any fucking thing with this trilogy. And in which case, actually remove some code too. And so just like, nah.
Yeah. GTA.
I have more to bitch about that, but I'm not going to.
Oh, yes.
An hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So this is just kind of like a PSA statement here. Anybody that's watching and looking at getting the new Intel processors. Spoiler alert, all Alder Lake processors, even the i5, use a shit ton of power compared to AMD processors, which is one of the reasons why they're outperforming the AMD processors. That's not a knock. That's just the truth. Like that's it. And they're good processors. Like they're getting a lot of power, but I guess that the big thing is that AMD was really pushing for low voltage, and so was Intel for a long time, because they needed to comply with power consumption laws and regulations throughout the US. And now these things are coming up and they're just like, well, we can't make them faster at these speeds than AMD, or at these power usages. So fuck it. Just pull the limiters off, bitches, and let's go. So it's not to say they're bad processors. They are doing extremely well performance-wise. And we've talked about like the fact that they're releasing at opposite ends of the year now to kind of just like make this weird seesaw battle. But they're going to use up a lot more power than what you currently have, which means also then they're going to generate a lot more heat. So if you're building a PC with a 12th gen Intel Core i7, make sure you have adequate cooling, everybody. Especially if you're running an NVIDIA video card in there, too.
Oh, my God.
All right. Apple literally had a keynote statement at a thing where this is the Cliff's Notes of their presser. But they basically said, you shouldn't have side loading of apps because you're dumb. This is the basic gist of what they said. And it was basically like, you can't have if you have side loading of apps, it's going to open up a whole thing for scammers to be able to get people to and like convince them to load their apps in and use fake things and blah blah blah. But basically it's, you can't have side loading because you're stupid. That's pretty much it. Which is, it's not wrong.
And we don't make money off of that.
Yes, they don't.
We
So
make
yeah,
money.
but have you talked to general public lately? Because that's a bad conversation.
General public is just the same as it was when we worked at CompUSA, and goddamn all the fucking spyware that I had to remove in the tech shop there.
I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes that it's even worse just because general public is a lot more faster at getting that spyware.
I mean, this is true. They're pretty quick at it.
All the porn. It's always porn.
I got spyware on this. Can you fix it? I just gave that to you like 5 seconds ago.
All right, here's your phone back. Don't go on to porn. Can you fix it again? God damn it!
Have you left the store?
Back then it was
Spyware
LimeWire,
removal service.
Yeah,
it was
back then
Good
it was
old LimeWire.
The best way to give your computer digital STDs.
I downloaded 3 Metallica songs, and it only cost me 3 computers. Yay!
All right, Microsoft has said that Forza Horizon 5 is the largest launch by an Xbox Game Studios game in history, which Jason was cynical when we posted it in there, and Chris brought out hard numbers and said, well, there were 800,000 people playing it before the Game Pass release, which means that at minimum there were 800,000 people that bought the deluxe edition of the game.
Yeah, they actually paid for early access. So
Which is good.
They could have just waited, a few days and got on Game Pass.
But to pre-sell a million units, that's good.
Yeah.
And for all the concurrent players that they had with Game Pass and everything like that, like there's a fuck ton of people playing that game right now.
Oh yeah.
We're all playing this game right now, which is something to say in itself. And I'm not gonna knock it at all. It's gorgeous. It's a great looking game. And I think that Forza is benefiting a little bit of new gen starvation, where other games have on the PS5 and all stuff like that. Like Returnal, I don't think Returnal was a game that's just like one of the best games of 2021 or anything like that. But a lot of people bought it and played it because they're just like, give me a fucking new game to play on my new console. And so
We'll talk more about Forza in a few minutes.
I want to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So I think there's a lot of that going on here for that.
Yep.
Yeah. But either way.
Pretty graphics.
Apparently Final Fantasy Tactics, which was leaked a little bit by a GeForce Now leak back in the summer, has apparently been corroborated by a retailer, and it's supposed to be sometime announced in 2022. Which, Tactics Remastered, fuck yes, I want to play that. I will play the fuck out of Tactics Remastered.
My only problem is I've played now Final Fantasy Tactics probably about like 3,000 times. Like it's just like I'm I don't care anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I'm being salty. I'm being salty. Just I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
I want to play it again, but I haven't played it nearly as many times as you. But I'm also very interested in getting that type of game into newer people's hands that can't get a hold of it right now.
Good point. You
Or
know,
don't want
I think
to
that
because it's an old PS1 game.
because the most frequent or most recent tactic game, like full tactic game that I can think of, was the Dark Crystal Chronicles or whatever it was called, and that game wasn't great.
There's
And
always Disgaea games coming out.
yeah, but that hasn't come out yet. Hasn't been out yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
I forgot their latest one still hasn't come out. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, straight up tactics games, like phenomenal. It's a fucking phenomenal game.
They're
and
fun.
It's a really good
They're
story.
fun. And
So.
and Disgaea I would never say is a great jump-in point for tactics game.
No.
Like Disgaea is like if you like tactics, well, we got tactics for your tactics. Yo, dog, do you like tactics? Because you have more tactics accessing the fucking menu screen than you do in the entire game of Final Fantasy Tactics.
Not to mention the most Japanese storyline.
Oh, every single time.
It is
every single
the
time.
most Japanese storyline that you can
It's
have.
over the top in everywhere that it possibly can.
Yep.
You know what can make this attack stronger? Maybe you stack your characters on top of each other. Sure, that works for some reason. Go for it.
Yeah, stack 16 printies on top of each other, everybody, and make a printy bomb. Dude. Yeah, dude. Dude. All right, Gary Bowser, who is God, I forget the name of the group that he was in, but he was a distributor for ROMs and everything like that, has pled guilty to stealing from Nintendo, reminding everybody that you may not agree with the law, but the law is the law, and if you break the law, you get fucked. So
explain it to me about January 6th some more.
Oh God. But emulators and ROMs are still technically illegal. Now, if you own the physical copy of the game, you're in a very gray area because the creation of that ROM is still technically illegal. But everything else, like the actual emulator for running the OS for the video game console system, is illegal. So, just keep that in mind, everybody that bitches and moans about it. It's like, sure, the DMCA is a huge pain in the ass, and it is way antiquated, and it was written before the millennium. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act was written before 2000 and needs to be redrawn up and everything like that. But in the meantime, this is what we have to work with, people. All right. We got two more, one of which... Chris, you want to talk about the latest Fast and Furious heist?
Yeah. So, GPUs, they're pretty hard to come by, right? You might want to watch some Fast and Furious movies? I think you could do that. I think, hey, that truck's got some EVGA GPUs on it. Some 30 series. Yeah, they did that. There was a truck full of EVGAs stolen in California.
That's amazing.
So, like, remember, guys, buying stolen hardware is illegal. You shouldn't do it.
Remember,
no.
You got to buy 3 spoon engines for your Honda Civics.
I mean, to bring this all around, the original Fast and Furious are still in what, DVD, VCR combo drives?
Oh my God, yes, they were.
VCR TVs.
Yes.
Yeah, VCR TV,
VCRs,
DVD combo things.
I don't think DVDs were even around yet.
No,
Just
DVDs were
VCRs.
around. DVDs were around.
Because they had a DVD combo TV. Those were not
DVDs were around.
cutting the edge.
No,
Yeah.
They
were
DVDs
around.
were around. DVDs were around in the original Fast and Furious.
Yeah, they were around. They were definitely around. Oh, what was your first DVD? I'm trying to think of what my first DVD was.
Oh God, I don't fucking remember. Beats the shit out of me. I remember my first CDs more than I remember my first.
I remember my first CD. Good call, Eric. Yeah, that's weird. Why do I remember like you said it? I was just like, yeah, I remember my CD, but DVD. Why don't I remember that?
Probably because we were renting so much. Because we would rent VHS and we would rent DVDs and whatnot, and it's like that all mixes in. Okay, fine. What was your first CDs? or CD? Like,
My
did you
my
buy
f-
one
my f-
in that, or did you buy multiples in that first shopping trip?
my first CDs that I bought was all in one thing, was Green Day Dookie and the Black Album, Metallica. And I remember I got grounded from both of them immediately because they had the uh, parental
Parental
advisory sticker
advisory,
on them.
explicit
Yeah.
content.
And I remember, God, this is gonna be so embarrassing. I remember that because I came home from school. I don't remember what year this was. I came home from school, and I
Well, it
would
was
come home
Dookie,
before
so
my
that's
parents.
94 or 95.
74. So I'm 10. I'm 10, let's say. I'd come home from school,
You weren't
and I'd be like, I'd get,
God.
oh yeah, dude, 10, you did, like, because especially since I lived pretty much across the street from the elementary, junior high, like it just didn't matter. So I remember I'd walk home and I'd go in there.
Yeah, it was
And
94.
I remember it's 94. Okay, so 10. And I remember that I wouldn't be allowed to go in my parents' room. That was a big no-no, because of all the sexy shit they had going on in there, I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah,
And
yeah. Your parents, man,
so
sex for days. They've literally had sex
had to,
once.
why do you think I had to have a stereo system in my old room? I had to turn that shit up all the time. Anyway, I remember I would go into my dad's closet, and I remember finding like all kinds of paraphernalia, like Playboys, guns, fireworks, you name it.
None of
And
this.
the thing I go for is my Green Day Dookie soundtrack or album. And I remember sitting emphatically looking at my dad's suits and shit like that, listen to Green Day, being like, I have, an hour and a half to listen to Green Day until I have to put it back into the hiding spot, which, no hiding. Parents don't hide shit, that. And then I would go back.
So, hilariously enough, I have my 9-year-old listen to shit like that on my 8-year-old when he was 8, listening to shit like that on the way into school, just teaching him
yeah, of course,
80s and 90s music
times.
and whatnot. I'm like, all right, so this is Green Day, and he's listening to Basket Case, he's listening to Longview, like all of it, and he's loving it. He's having a good time. But okay, so my first CDs, which this is hilarious because Jason got his taken away because he bought them and got in trouble. I went with my mom, and my first 3 CDs were SWV, because I have a very eclectic music listening to, but then Green Jello 333, no, Green Jello, not 333, and White Zombies L'Exorcisto Devil Music Volume 1 that I bought with my mom with the parental advisory labels. It's just like, all right, cool. And those were the 3
I got
CDs
the clean versions
that I bought. And yeah, very much straight. It's like rock parody, heavy metal, and R&B. What about you, Chris? Do you remember yours?
I think my first one was Metallica and Justice for All.
Okay, it's a good one.
So now I got that one. Seven Dust Seasons. I think that was the name of the album.
Seven Dust. Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, cool.
That's a very 90s kid purchase.
Yeah,
that is perfectly fine for
sure,
90s kid. And this is also because like I already had Black Album on cassette, so it's like, why do I need to buy the CD of it when I've got it? So I bought all brand new stuff.
Whoa, Black Album was one of my favorites. I had cassette, all of that stuff too, but I was just like the first one I wanted to get for CD.
No, when I was buying CD, I was like, I want new stuff. I want new stuff that I don't have, and that's what I got.
Because
Okay.
everyone was complaining to me that like Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, they had like horrible sound tracking over to CD, so it wasn't worth the price of CDs because CDs were expensive back then. It wasn't like just something you could be like,
No.
yeah, I'll pay $10 for an album. It was like $30. And it was just
15,
like as a
20,
10-year-old,
yeah, something like that,
as a
Yeah, like
10-year-old, that
15,
was my
21,
allowance. Because Eric, to your point, I was with my dad when I bought those albums too, and then we got home and I made the dumbass decision of being like, can we listen to this music on the way home?
Oh, I mean, to your credit, the Green Day stuff is very subliminal. The Metallica stuff's not.
Well, I mean, Welcome to Paradise or whatever that album that
Yes.
song was not subliminal. It was very much like
it's subliminal unless you pay attention to the lyrics. He never
Which I'm
once
sure
actually says I pulled out my dick and I jacked off. Like never
True.
once says that. It's all very much like illusory script to masturbation. That is 100% what that song is about. It's about masturbation, but they never really say that. Like, Ronan hasn't picked up on that at all. He's listening to a song about masturbation. So, all right, we got to hit the last bit of news so we can get on to games. Jason, you wanted to talk about Black Friday while I open up my Dunkin pumpkin beer.
Good God, good grief, and good luck. Yeah, Black Friday is my thing. I'm a cheap ass son of a bitch, as people have mentioned before, multiple times. I love finding deals wherever I possibly can. Yeah, that does not. That was the one that turned me off. 100%, Eric.
Smells like pumpkin.
Yeah, you might as well get it out of the way.
Well, that's pumpkin. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a 3.
Just got slapped with some pumpkin
that's
there.
That's like a 3.
Black Friday gaming deals that I've been kind of looking at myself. Like, this is just for me. I'm just looking at games and stuff that I haven't played or haven't had a chance to play through yet. And I'm just like, all right, what can I pick up real quick and on the cheap? And what gets me excited sometimes when I can find a game that's just like, you know what, I've always been interested in this game and it's cheap now, so might as well. For me, those are Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Last of Us 2, and Resident Evil Village, all for $20 for Black Friday, which that is a great entry point for either of those games, in my opinion. So that one kind of like sparked me to be like, cool. If you haven't played any of those yet and have had an interest, Black Friday is your time to do it. There's also Far Cry 6 and Guardians of the Galaxy, which are slightly newer games in aspects of that. But so far, the cheapest deal I could find on either of those is $35.
$35 still
shooting
a
at about
solid
half
deal for
Yeah.
those.
half off, especially
Yeah.
for Guardians of the Galaxy, which is getting pretty good reviews. If that's your cup of tea, there you go. There's a time to pick it up because I think that's about what it'd be worth. But all of these games are easily a $20 entry fee, and I've been saying it for a long time, and here they are for the most part. So just wanted to kind of give some of the people a heads up for that because this will be our last episode before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's true, actually. It says our last episode. Fuck me. Where is this fucking year gone?
These years gone to this office. You'll look at this office and I'm just like, yeah, so have I. That's it.
That's pretty much it. The office has changed like a little bit over the year. Not like a whole lot, though. It's like the futon moved. The gaming chair moved. Got like a couple more things out and about. But yeah, the office hasn't changed a whole lot. It's just gone by so fucking quick. All right, so that's it for news. It's probably the longest we've taken for news in a while, with what was a very short news list.
It was a short list. We had a bunch of good tangents, though, and I think
we did
that's
have a bunch of good
sometimes.
tangents, and we did talk quite a while about Game Pass.
Yeah, unfortunately, God, I feel like such a fucking whore when we do that because, but at the same time, it's just like that. It is what it is. Like if we didn't find value in it, then we wouldn't talk about it.
Okay. So, I guess we'll talk about games that we're playing. We'll all talk about Forza, I guess, right now, because we're all playing Forza Horizon 5. And then we'll branch off and do everything. Jason, start with your musings on Forza, I guess.
To me, I'm not a race driver. The sports and racing sims, I stay away from a whole bunch, even though this is race arcade style. I get that. Racing's not typically ever one of my favorites. I think they did a great job of bringing the arcadiness into Forza, into a racing game, making it very accessible. And because I say accessible, because I don't give a shit. And I watch Eric play this game. He's just like, ooh, I'm going to put this suspension on here. Ooh, let's just tune up this engine a little bit. Ooh, let's do that. And I'm just like, what's the fucking auto shit? All right. I want to be an A. Sounds great. Do it. Sounds super. And then what makes me happy is that, like, I pride myself on being a gamer that I can, like, adapt and stuff like that. So I enjoy then the aspect of, like, even though I'm not spending my time on that part of the game of tuning up my car to the best, if I spend my time tuning myself to what the game mechanics want, I can get really still good at drifting, at pulling off crazy moves in the dirt and all kinds of stuff like that, because I know how to work now the system. Yeah. So that's what I mean by accessible. So it's just like, if you want to like really spend the time building out your kit, you can, and you'll play the way you expect. But if you don't, if that's not entertaining to you, which is not for me, then, you can also spend the time and build out yourself to be the kid. And I think that's kind of cool. And so cool, in fact, that I challenge both of you guys that, like, at the end of this month, we should have a race off and like do like 3 or 5 different like games or races to be like, let's see which one actually does the best at whatever it is. And we'll do like the full vanilla. Like it's just like we'll each race with one of our cars and all kinds of bullshit like that. And I think that would be really fun for us to be like, let's see what
do a same class race and all that. Totally, that's perfectly fine.
Exactly. Like let's make it as equal as possible, just to be like it's only based on each other.
So going off of what Jason said, I was gonna have Chris do his next thing, but Jason, you brought up a valid point. Something that I was talking about earlier today is one of the great things about Forza or about Horizon is that with 5 especially, they've added so much customization. It's not going nearly as far as a direct sim. So it's not Forza Motorsport and it's not Gran Turismo as far as like its sim capabilities. But they've added in the tuning aspect a lot more into it to kind of bridge the gap and allow arcade style players and sim players to be able to play together. And that's actually what I really think is one of the better aspects of this game. It got into a big thing about like what they can and can't do, and it's like adding things into the engine to make it do things is like not going to happen. But what they did for the customization aspect to be able to make it so that you can be an arcade player and someone that just fucking loves arcade game style, but then also be a core racing sim player that also, you know, you don't always want to do that. Like I play Gran Turismo and I've done Gran Turismo like tournaments before, and I really love like hardcore simulation racing, but sometimes I like to take a 1,000 horsepower plus buggy and beeline it straight through the center of the fucking map to make the shortest distance. So,
or just send it off a fucking ramp.
Yes, or send it off a fucking ramp. And that's literally the first thing that Chris and I would do, like in a couple of days that we played together, is, all right, I got this new car. Let's see how far I can jump it. And then we would drive down to the airstrip, get further back, go into the trees so that we had the longest possible launch that we could off of it and see how far we could go.
I mean, to that point, like the one of the things I like about it is like Eric and Chris, you guys have both been like, oh, I'm gonna play the car that I actually drive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In my car, they don't have the year for my car, so and
they have
apparently I
close to
can't
yours,
buy
though.
mine. They have a 2005, not 2007.
They have a 2015 of mine, not a 2016, but that's
Oh,
basically
okay,
the
okay.
exact same.
They have a
They do
2005.
have
body style and everything.
They do have a 2004 and a 2011, which are the 2 previous WRXs that I owned. So I can buy my 2 previous cars, and I do own my 2 previous cars. But I own 1 model year earlier for my current WRX.
So one of the first games or the first cars that I did own though was a 1996 Crown Victorian. And that was a piece of shit. It was my dad's old Crown Vic that was converted from an ambulance. And one of the updates that they did in the game was that you could turn it into a cop car. So
Wait, it was an ambulance Crown Vic? Or it was a
ambulance Crown Vic.
It was a firehouse Crown Vic.
Yeah, it was a EMT, not EMT, first responder Crown Vic.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't a cop. It wasn't like an Interceptor.
No,
Yeah,
no, it wasn't a cop car at all. This thing was a tuna boat and a half. And it was one of the cars that would get out there if it was a non-fire emergency. They'd get out there, be like, all right, we'll be the first ones to get there because it was slightly faster than the giant boxes that were ambulance back then, and then administer CPR or whatever and stuff like that, or take somebody to the hospital specifically for pregnancies. So I grew up my first car driving, which thankfully only lasted for about like 8 months when I turned 16, of driving a car that had probably way more
and more amniotic
fluid
fluid
all in it than I ever would have put into it. Yes, exactly. It's just like and anyway, and it died. But I was able to buy this Crown Vic, which is rated D. It drives like shit in the game, but I was able to do it, and I was able to go into races, and I have this little thing, have the siren, all kinds of jazz going on, and it's really fun that you can have this extra arcadey bit to it that matters nothing. And then they're like, "Hey, we gave you this new Porsche Spider. Enjoy." It's just like, Jesus Christ, what the hell am I going to do with this thing? I don't even know.
But Chris, you're having fun with it, right?
Yeah, I'm having fun with it. So yeah, I mean, got my vehicles in there too.
You love your trucks,
but yes, So one of the vehicles I have in there is the Bronco R, which is the full-on race Bronco. And then, you can do, one of the things about Forza is you can do engine swaps and stuff. So I swapped in a 7.2 liter twin turbo race V8 in there that makes 1,750 horsepower. So
That's funny. I threw the same thing in my F-150.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. And just cruising over anything, just full tilt. Like, I remember, like, it was with you and Voodoo.
Yeah.
Johnny, and we were doing, you're like, oh, we're going to race our WRXs. I don't have a WRX in the game. I was like, we're doing off-road race. I'm going to run my Bronco.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And Voodoo John's just like, oh, when you got to chase down dinosaurs at, like, 8, but got to race at 9. Because, obviously, one of the things about Forza 2 is the customizations of your livery, of your paint job and everything like that. So I download a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World theme one. It's like asset containment unit, stuff like that. This thing is ridiculous. I love it. And that's another thing of just the amount of time people spend just designing paint jobs and livery stuff like that, because you can't import graphics into this.
I want to know how you can, because you can import graphics. You have to be able to.
Absolutely have to be able
to. Specifically because of the one car that I have right now, and that is the greatest wrap that you can get for a Civic Type R. And I got a 2018 Civic Type R, and I was like, you know what? They're nice cars. They actually handle really well. They've got good engines, and I'm going to buy one. It'll be fun. I've got, like, gobs and gobs of cash in this fucking game, so who gives a shit? So I bought a Civic Type R, and then I went over to the wraps, and I'm like, all right, well, here we go. I'm looking through the wraps. I'm like, nah, that's okay. And then I stop, and I look at, like, the little thumbnail, and I'm like, is that what I think it is? I'm like, I'm gonna apply it, and I apply it, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh fuck, I found my wrap, bought, done. It is a wrap entirely with Rory from Gate.
Oh my god.
And so I drive primarily like dash view, and it's got her fucking face like on it too. I'm just like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is the best wrap so far for a car. Like, there's no way that they put Rory from Gate in there just randomly, like grabbed assets off the internet.
They have to do it in the game, because all licensing stuff like that, you have to make it in the game. And so people are really good at this. Like, I saw some stuff where people like do on their computer, put up like a transparency of like an image, and go in the editor and just kind of do it.
Oh, so you have to draw
layer by layer
in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's,
you can't just import it. You have to draw in the game.
Okay, so importing like our logo to make your drift MX-5 is going to be a little bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, you can't really do it. You got to make it in the game, which would be that's a little bit challenging.
I believe in you, Eric. I believe in you. Just so I can use it. Again, you do all the work. I will sit right here.
Outright. All right. Do we want to score Forza? I mean, we've only been.
I don't think I'm ready
days.
for that yet. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
If you got Game Pass,
solid. It's fun.
Pick it up. It's definitely fun. 100%.
For Game Pass alone, it's definitely a Game of the Year contender. To be honest, let's be honest. Just that alone. If you have Game Pass, I mean, shit. Go if you don't have Game Pass, it's $1 for your first month or whatever. Like,
yeah, especially if you've never
an idea. Yeah, get an idea, and then you can see what we're talking about, and then you can decide if it's worth it or not. Because would I be like, yeah, go out and spend $70 on this game right now? I don't know, but I think that we'll be able to get there after.
If you're new racing game, sure.
Yeah, but
free racing game. Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, The Crew 2 was also free to me, and I fucking hated that game. Hated it.
All right. Okay, who wants to go first then?
I only have one, so I can go first if.
Yep, go ahead.
So obviously, aside from Forza that I spent a crap ton of time in, I spent a crap ton of time in Genshin like I normally do. Eric, I sent you flowers in Genshin, and you have not sent me flowers back. I'm taking this a little bit personally.
So rude.
Taking a little bit personally.
Actually play Genshin. Again,
taking it personally right now.
Chris has made a schedule. We didn't talk about this earlier. Chris has made a schedule for us, and Thursday is Genshin Day, but Thursday ended up being Forza Day for me, so I did not play Forza.
Well,
or did
so
not
like
play Genshin,
part of
I
that
played Forza.
too was because like you were like the Wednesday Thursday thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what is Eric gonna play on Wednesday? And then so Thursday I'm like, it's Genshin. He's gonna play fucking Genshin.
He's gonna play Genshin.
So
Obviously,
like
he's
it
gonna
was
play
supposed to
Genshin.
like meant to go together. Like he's gonna play fucking Genshin. We know he's gonna play Genshin.
It's probably going to be Thursday night's Genshin night, but that's fine. I just didn't because Forza had just come out. So I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, we're going to play Forza. I played another game as well, but played Forza. Anyways.
The only other game that I played outside of those two was Breath Edge. I downloaded Breath Edge as a lark for our stream day, just being like, hey, I need a new game that I can play for 24 hours. This sounds like a fun one. I'll just give it a shot. And I ended up getting lost down a tunnel of fun. Breath Edge starts off as a Subnautica clone where you're in space though. And so you're from a accident in space. There's wreckage everywhere, and you have to find out what the fuck happened. So while surviving, because obviously you can't breathe in space, you can't eat anything in space, you can't drink anything in space. So you got to find out ways to make this stuff, and build up your own base and all kinds of stuff that you want to do. And the exploration around with that of finding out what's going on, because you have this gorgeous wreckage all in front of you, going through asteroids, planets, all kinds of stuff, sci-fi to the max of just being all fun. What sets Breath Edge aside or apart from anything else is its comedy. There's so many references, there's so many jokes, there's so many things that they just don't take the game seriously at any given time that just make it so fun that every single time they're just like, all right, what's the sarcastic line going to be here? I know it's going to be sarcastic, but what they deliver is still so hilarious to me. Like, it's just, there's so many things where it's just like, you're going to fuck this up. You're an idiot. Like the entire thing, you have literally an immortal chicken with you. Don't ask. You have an immortal chicken with you.
You have Hey
that you use this
from,
chicken
from Moana, right? Basically.
Pretty much. And you use it for all kinds of stuff. Like if there's electricity that you don't want to touch, you put the chicken on a stick and stick the chicken into the electricity, and it neutralizes electricity because it shorts out whatever the problem is. Don't worry about the chicken. It's immortal.
It's immortal.
So then you can move on and stuff like that. And then like so many things, you have an AI system in your suit that's helping you walk through stuff, and it's telling you to do all these complicated things. And your solution is literally always to break it. And it's just like the way that you break it, though, isn't just like, I'm dumb and I'm going to smash it with a hammer. It's just like, this sounds like the most logical thing to do. You hit it and it's just like, wow, you just totally fucked that up. Way to go, and stuff like that. And it's just such a well-written script. So many great references back and forth all over across games, across everything. I don't want to spoil too much, but they make callbacks to so many great games, and like so many, like there's even Subnautica references in there. They know what they did and all that jazz. And it's fantastically fun. Then you get to the second half. The second half is like more like just a sprint run of, can you prove of all the stuff that you know how to build throughout the game? So you spent your entire first half of the game building up your base, building up all your references and all that stuff like that, and all your resources. And then you finally go on to the next half. You leave all of that behind, and you go into more of a scripted walking simulator of proving your concept of what you've done so far. And the writing's still good. The dialogue's still fantastic. But, oh my God, did it drag on then from there on out. Add in a couple of like game breaking bugs where I literally have to look up, like be like, how the fuck do I not break this game at this point? And it's just like the most asinine stuff, like walk to this door holding an item, and walk backwards for a minute and you'll be fine. Like, it's just like, they obviously didn't playtest this, and there's obviously, I think, internal disputes for the game when I looked this stuff up. There was just like, there's no more dev support for it, which is very unfortunate, because this world and what they built in this game is hilarious and fun, and I would love to spend so much more time in it. But after beating the game, I was just like, okay, that was super fun. Uninstall immediately, because that was the last like 2 hours was just absolutely frustrating. But if, again, Game Pass is what it's on. If you have Game Pass, totally worth it just for the lulls, especially if you're a gamer. if you can get it on PC or PlayStation or anything else, it's actually very much fun. It's just there's tons of problems with it. So be prepared, keep your save files, all kinds of stuff like that, because there's a lot of problems that can go along with it. With that alone, if there was no problems with this game, this would be a 9.5. I enjoyed every second of this game when I was playing this game for fun, from the survival aspect all the way down to like even the walking simulator part, which I didn't like as much. The dialogue was so great. The achievements you unlock, the stupid stuff that you do, the comedy behind it is so good, but it is marred deeply by glitches and programming problems. So I'm gonna have to take it down 2 points because it was really bad at some points and like required a lot of stuff and testing my patience a whole bunch. The only reason I was able to get through it was just because it was so fun. So I'm going to take it down to 7.5 out of 10 just for that alone. But if you find a more suitable build than what's on Game Pass or hopefully on the PlayStation or anything else, definitely well worth your time. It's fun. It's just fun.
All right.
That's me.
Chris, you want to go?
Sure. So, in addition to playing Forza Horizon 5, which another thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about that was another great aspect of that game that people can spend a lot of time in, like this guy, is the photo mode. It's got a really good
Chris
photo
has
mode.
spent a lot of time in photo mode.
All these different options. I got some pretty nice photos, in my opinion at least, of like the Bronco R and some other vehicles and stuff like that. It just, you can just do all kinds of different edits and make their apertures, doing contrast, color, temperature, vignette, sepia, adjust on these sliders, adjust the camera angles, all these kind of things. You can take some really great, fantastic photos. I enjoy that. Descent, beautiful game, fun game. Just got a photo mode, so I tried that. Bang, hey, this would be cool. Very, very basic photo mode.
Dude,
Photo
so
mode
disappointing in their photo mode.
So
yeah,
photo mode on
it?
that is basically like
Did,
we
and then I
paused
installed
the
immediately.
game.
Yeah.
Right? That's
You
basically
just pause
it's
the
like, we
game
paused
and
the
you can
game
kind of
and
zoom
stopped
in,
it.
zoom out. You can change the blurriness, and that's basically it. You can't move around.
I was like,
it wasn't able to like move
yeah,
around.
I was like, I just want to have that balcony scene and zoom in as much as possible and just be like, I'm on the balcony. And it was just like impossible. And it was just like, I spent an hour getting here, uninstalled the game, don't give a fuck. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll find it
away.
online. I don't give a shit
as you
anymore.
zoom in, it just like zooms in where it's zoomed in, so your character will be like over here. I'm like, no, I want to kind of move over. Can I change?
Yes,
things?
exactly.
'Cause this game's 3D. Like they do it all the time. Like why can't I do adjust, change
Because fuck
like
you, that's why.
colors and stuff? Like no. So yeah, it's
It
just,
wasn't
like,
meant to be turned around, is what they were worried about. But I mean, at
Yeah,
the
but,
same
like-
time, though, they could have done way more with that.
Yeah, you could have done so much more. So I was kind of disappointed in that. But yeah, that's like, all right, bye. You're installed. During our actual
But
life,
you beat the Ascent, though, right?
I think I got pretty close, and then I just got kind of like sick of.
You
going
didn't
back and
beat
forth.
it. You should have just called me. I could have walked you through it. That last boss battle.
No,
is
you missed what he said. He
insane.
got
Oh.
bored. He got sick of it. He got bored.
Because it gets hard. It gets really fucking hard.
Well, it gets like hard, and then you keep going back and forth through different areas.
Mhm.
I'm just like, do I even want to do that right now? It's like,
Fair
And
enough,
that
fair
happens, and that's part of scoring a game. Of like, you're like, I got bored, like I got
I was
hardcore
like,
bored.
I don't
and
want
was
to do
like,
this.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Is this really worth it?
I don't want to play with you anymore.
I don't want to play
Pretty
with
much.
you anymore. Go away, Woody.
Um,
No, wait, I like playing with my Woody.
Hey,
One thing
oh.
of having like Game Pass and stuff like that during Extra Life is I downloaded and played some games I haven't played before that we've also talked on this podcast before, like Back for Blood. Played that for a while, so that was my first experience with that. Golf with
Oh yeah,
Friends.
that's right. Because your computer wasn't working when we were all playing it.
Well, I don't
You
think I
didn't.
had
You didn't
Game
have
Pass
your.
at the
You
time.
didn't have your power supply. You had to like put everything
Oh,
way
yeah, yeah.
down when we were
Yeah.
playing, like when everyone was actually playing Back for Blood, like
Yeah.
regularly. Like you didn't have your power
Right, yeah.
supply.
So
Yeah.
we did some Back in Blood, did some Sea of Thieves, which I have played before, but that was back when that game was in beta.
Yeah. This is a long fucking time ago.
So we played some of that, played some Golf with Friends, played some Goose Goose Duck, which is Among Us with ducks.
Yeah, it's
Geese and-
Among Us with geese, and it's Among Us with every mod
Yeah.
that you can get. Yeah. But that's like what makes Among Us fun. And Among Us, I can talk about this a little bit because I played actual Among Us again. They've like the updates to it are better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But all right, go ahead.
And then I got a little lost. Just don't know what I'm doing with myself right now. I'm just kind of lost. Lost my arc, guys. I lost my arc.
And literally, you have lost your arc because the beta ended.
Yes. Yes. So Lost Ark, game I've been waiting for over 6 years. Is coming out in the West, North America, and Europe. Closed beta happened recently over our extra live stream before that ended earlier this week or last week. Fantastic. I got addicted to this game and just played it constantly.
It was gorgeous too.
Yeah, looks gorgeous. I played it for at least half of our extra live stream when I wasn't playing
At least half.
those other games.
Fuck off.
No, you played it for almost the entire fucking extra.
The entirety. And it was just like, Chris, play something else. You're just like, no.
We had people that actually spent money to make Chris play Goose Goose Duck with us. So when Chris says that he downloaded and played Goose Goose Duck, let's make sure that we reiterate here that Kaleidoscope Fox donated money to make Chris switch games.
Lost Ark.
At one point, I mean, I was just playing bullshit, and I was just like, all right, well, let's see what Chris is doing on Lost Ark, and I switched over to that, and like everyone watched Chris with his waifu running through Lost Ark for a while. It's fine.
Which, if you're on Twitch, you can see my murder waifu behind me.
Yes, it is a murder waifu.
Multicolored hair. Which, so in the character, there is a character generator when you generate a character in Lost Ark, but it's only the face. You can't adjust the body at all. That's just basic. So
wait. The game made her that sexy?
Yes.
All right then.
So you just choose your hair colors, your kind of makeup.
It's a Korean game.
Just the face.
It's a Korean game.
At the end of the day, Lost it's supposed to be like Diablo Genshin, right? At the end of the day, is what this is going to be. Yeah.
There's a lot to this game. Like, so you're playing through, and I was about like 20 or so hours in this game. Like, I think I'm finally like really getting into this game, like out into like the main world. Like, oh, now I got my stronghold, which is your kind of your house, but really what you get is a full-on island, and you can hire sailors and send them out on missions. You can place buildings on your island, research stuff. Like, it's like this whole other like sub game in this game. You level up your stronghold, have like followers, whatever. Have a hot ass butler, and all this kind of stuff. As you become naive, you get through some of the more epic kind of missions later on. As you try to find these Lost Ark pieces, I think it's around like 25 hours when you find the first Lost Ark piece, and they're like, oh yeah, there's like 6 more. And you're just now trying to go to like the port city, so then you can go to the other continents. It's like I didn't even get to the other continents. I spent almost like 30 hours in this game, in this beta. Like, I played this game like nonstop. It's gorgeous. If you like Diablo style games, it's fun like that. And there's some nice like quality of life elements into it. Like, you get your pet early on, like very, very early on, and what your pet does is it auto loots. So you don't have to, you're not going around picking up the loot that drops. Your pet just automatically puts it in your inventory for you. So it's like a nice little quality of life. And other things you can do with your pet is, it's like, because it's going to be a free to play game, so there's some money things like your crystals, stuff like that you can kind of get through playing the game, or just, I'm pretty sure you can just spend money to get them. You can unlock stuff where now you can do other stuff, rather than just auto loot. You give it some more functions, and then another part where you can unlock, which will give your character some performance boost, like a couple percent here, something like that.
Sure. I mean, it's a game as a service, so end of the day, it's going to be about generating money, or grinding.
Yeah, And one of the things is the PvP aspect of it, like the arena stuff like that, is a separate thing. So you have separate skill tree for that. Like it's the same like skill tree, but you have a whole separate point system for that, where you're leveling up those skills differently than your PvE main character skills, and like you can get like different gear kind of sets. So those things are kind of separate. So also kind of helps you if you want to do more a PvP build or a PvE build, is they're already separate. So you got those kind of things going, and you can have multiple skill set builds. So you have like little tabs on top. So like, okay, now I'm going to go switch over to this one. This is my skill set build for these. So you can kind of mix up your play styles. Some of the moves are really cool. Like I was showing you some of the ultimate moves of one of the advanced classes for the martial arts, which is basically DBZ. Which
Yes,
like, just
it is.
Summon a spirit bomb.
There's a Genki Dama that
Kamehameha.
literally gets like picked up. Yeah, it's
And like the kind of standard attack for that is like just like shooting like these little key blasts out. So that was kind of more the ranged with some melee attacks of the martial arts. The other ones are more actually just melee focused. A lot of different advanced classes. In the beta, you basically just started out at level 10, so you picked your advanced class. So you didn't really get those first 10 levels, but I'm guessing you'll probably get that in the main game, which what I heard in the alpha you did, which had like individual stories for the base classes. So the people would play that were like kind of missing that. They kind of added something here.
Well, I wonder if they made a decision to not do that in either A, to like get you into the bigger build stuff that they needed like more info on for the beta, but also like there could be a thought process of like, we feel that those aren't really necessary anymore, so we might just be booting everybody up, because this is, again, it's a game that's like 7 years old now.
Well, it's been released for 3 years in Korea.
Oh, it's only been released for 3 years in Korea? I thought it had been released longer than that.
No, it's been development and announced for a long time.
For a long ass time.
Yeah.
But it is an MMO, so they do have longer development cycles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
can't wait until spring, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure we'll all play it because it's going to be free. It's going to be free, right? And then you just pay for it. Yeah. I'm sure I'll be playing it.
Yeah, and it ran pretty good. I mean, they still got some work to do as far as the localization goes. Because there's like a card system. You collect these cards. I don't really know what it does or how to use it.
Because they're all in Korean?
Well, there's the cards, you can kind of drag them, and then like I equip like a few, and it's like, oh, you got 3 equip bonus on this, plus 8%. Plus 8% what? It didn't say what, it just said plus 8%.
Plus 8%.
You got it.
You got it.
You got it.
You got plus 8%.
And there's like a little button in the corner that says guides. You click on that and it pulls up a video. The video's all in Korean.
Okay, yeah. So definitely.
So it's like, yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. Moving on. But yeah, I mean, I soloed the whole thing throughout my playthrough. Had no issues. Like some of the boss battles and stuff like that do get somewhat difficult, which is good. Like you're using your health potions and stuff like that. Unlike where my Titan Quest build is right now, which I'm most like over P, where it's just kind of easy. But it's a lot of fun, and one of the other quality of life aspects is when you're getting like side quests and stuff like that, is the side quests don't come available, and when they do, you get them. They're usually all in like the same area or on the way to your next quest or something like that, and so it kind of groups them. So you're like, oh, I'm just gonna pick up these side quests. I'm not wasting time going over here, running over here, going over there. I'm like, all right, I got all these right here. Cool. Can go knock them out, go turn them in. So that's kind of nice. And being an MMO, there's crafting, there's fishing, all that kind of stuff. There's also like a relation aspect of it, where you get like rapport levels with people. with certain characters, and as you get up to different ranks, you unlock like different rewards from that. So you kind of try to do that every day. It kind of resets, so you can play a song if you unlock that song yet, or an emote. Like when the bar ladies wants the emote for her is sad, because I guess she wants you to be sad. That one's weird. It's like, oh, you're a good actor. And sometimes they'll have, as you get up to levels, you'll get like quests with them too. Like one who runs this tavern in the first main city, and she wants, some cookbooks and learn to cook and have you try her food, and because everyone tells her food sucks, and she wants to become a good cook.
Wait, you're doing bar rescue or kitchen nightmares?
Kind of.
Amazing.
And so you're like, you try her food the first time, and it's like, oh, tell me what you think. And you can either be like honest and be like, that's like great. Or you kind of like,
I think I died.
I can tell you try really hard.
I can tell you're trying
And then,
real hard.
And then like you do some more stuff and like gather some ingredients for her, and she cooks a bunch of meal, and then you have to go talk to like the tavern people, and they're like, no, that's gross. And there's one guy's like, if she deep fried a shoe, I would eat it. I was like, yep, I know, she's hot. You do whatever she wants.
Food sucks, but that's okay.
And they go back to her toast. It's like, oh, I cooked something for you too. I'm like, okay. And it's like you have to go to the table, and you kind of, as soon as you take a bite, you pass out on the floor.
Jesus.
She's like, oh, you passed out. You must have worked up.
It's
a
the
lot
curry
of
scene
exhaustion.
from Persona 4.
Yeah, right.
Really tired. It's like, yep. Yeah, I was really tired. It wasn't that your food was that fucking bad.
Oh man.
But I'm in love with this game. I want to play more.
Spring it is, so, huh? 6 months
Yep.
still.
All right.
Shitty.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll hear more.
2022.
Yeah, we'll hear more from Chris in the spring about this game. Maybe, if we find him, he might be shriveled up and dead in his bedroom because he hasn't slept for hours, or for days. So, but we'll see.
It'll be like that Always Sunny episode where they played the MMO.
Yes. Or like the South Park episode when they play the MMO.
Yeah.
Or like any episode of any show where they play an MMO.
If I'm doing good in the game, that means I'm doing good in life.
Yep, exactly. And you're gonna be like standing there at your desk with your keyboard and your mouse while someone's holding a bucket so that you can explosively diarrhea into the bucket.
Mom, bathroom.
God, that was so bad. Okay.
Ben gay.
Is that it? That all that you played now? All right. So I played a couple of extra games. As we talked about Goose Goose Duck already on the last podcast because I played that, and it's fun. It's Among Us with all the mods. Among Us has added all the mods on now, so there's so many things that you can do in Among Us. And they did a lot of things just so that they could keep up with what people wanted. It very slowly, I might add. It's fun to play, but it's you don't get to fart on people like Goose Goose Duck. So I'll take Goose Goose Duck any day of the week now, unfortunately. But I did play a couple of additional games beyond the normal games. So like during Extra Life, we played Back for Blood. I played Destiny 2, Goose Goose Duck, some Sea of Thieves. Like we did a lot. Sea of Thieves was fun because we went on with the leader of the Chaos Brigade, and then we caused chaos. Apparently worse than what they are accustomed to, and they did not like it.
They couldn't handle our chaos. They couldn't handle the IBeatItFirst chaos.
They could not handle the IBeatItFirst chaos that was already over 24 hours without sleep and hopped up on energy drinks.
And spicy food.
Oh, yes.
So we did that. But beyond that, I did play a game that if you tuned in, there was a section where a couple of people were trying to convince me to play a game, And I was literally like, I don't want to play this game. I'm tired. I don't want to download and play this game. But I played Deep Rock Galactic with some friends. It's an interesting game. It's fun to play with friends. It's not like anything that I'm going to pick up. But basically, you're dwarves, apparently like techno dwarves, going down. You've got alien like insects that you have to fight, and you're mining for ore, and that's about it. And you have like every time you go down, there's a different like objective to do, mine specific things, set up a pump to mine like weird ass like not oil. We'll say, I guess would be the best way to do it. Magic oil. There we go. It's magic oil. Things like that, and you're going through, and basically you go in, you finish your objective, and then you have to fucking book it out to the bug out zone because the bugs are coming after you. And that's it. It's fun. It's free on Game Pass. So, you know, if you got friends to play it with, do it. If you don't have friends to play with it, don't fucking pick this game up. You're going to fucking hate it. And it's not good. And it's tolerable with friends. But I will not be going out of my way to play the game, like, or find people to play it and be like, hey, we should play Deep Rock Galactic. But if I have friends that ask me, I'll be like, I've got it downloaded. Sure, I'll play it. Might as well. The other game, though, that I played that is what I played instead of playing Genshin last Thursday before I played Forza was Unpacking, which is available on Game Pass. Right. And this is a very surprisingly satisfying game. It's all you're doing is unpacking boxes, going through the life of a girl. Like that's literally all that you're doing. You start off, she's a little girl. Where I'm at right now, she's out of college. She's moved in with her besties, and like I've gone through that house where they're at, and I went on to the next one, which is an apartment, and I haven't moved it on to something else because that was the next level, and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna save it for streaming, and I'm gonna probably stream it a little bit on Thursday to go through a little bit more because there's narrative, but it's like there's subliminal things that go on with it. It's like you start off as a little girl, then you go to college, then she moves in with her 3 best friends. They all play D&D. They've all got minifigs of their characters, and they're all different things. Like you get D20s all over the place, things like that. It's a surprisingly satisfying game, except for the fact that when she packs her boxes, she packs them in the most mind-numbingly, brain-hurting way possible. One boot in one box, another boot in another box, mixed in with pots and pans. Like shit like this happens in this game, and I don't think that it is that it's like a changeable thing, that it's like a roguelike thing where it's like every box is different every time that you do it. No, I don't think that's the case. But yes, it's very much like a thing where you're just like, huh. Okay.
That would be amazing though if it was roguelite. It was just like roguelite unboxing of your boxes. Because then I'd be like, yeah, my keyboard should be underneath my dish soap.
Exactly. And as Chad say, it's like she emergency moved due to some incident. That's exactly what it was like. And you'd find like you'd have 3 bras, and then you'd find the 4th bra in random ass box somewhere else in another room that just was like, oh, I forgot this one. I'll throw it in with my books. I will say though, and I was being very conscious to not assume that it was a female. It wasn't until I got into out of college or in college when I actually found tampons that I was like, okay, it's a girl. Because you're going through it, it's like the little girl's room, you're like, this could very much be a boy's room. It doesn't really matter. It's like, you know, it's like they can have, you know, female design toys, and then you get into college, you're like, nope, still bra. I mean, like, this could just be a trans boy. We still don't know like where they're going with the story. Then I found tampons, and I'm like, okay, well, whether or not they were a boy, they are now a girl. So this is very much a girl's room at this point. But it is a very, very fun and good game. There's actually a lot of different things that I didn't like really experiment with, because I was going through it. I was just like, I was playing it and I was trying to do the organizational aspect of it, because that's where my mind was. It was like, get it out, organize everything, put it up, everything in its place, make sure that it's all in a good organized place, because it's got to be organized at least once when you live in this fucking place, because it's never going to be organized this way again. But you could do weird things like putting the toaster in the bathtub, and then you could take pictures, and you unlock like special like stickers and stuff like that. Like, so you unlock like a shocking sticker that you can put onto your pictures when you take photos and everything, because there is a photo mode in this game. And it's a better photo mode than in that other fucking game that you guys were talking about.
The Ascent?
Yeah, the Ascent. Because you can apply stickers to your photos and do all sorts of cool stuff. It's very interesting. It's on Game Pass. 100% highly recommend playing this game. Like, and I think it's only like a $15 game outside of Game Pass. But if you have Game Pass, like, you should definitely pick it up. Especially if you just like organizing even a little bit. But I will say that figuring out like how this chick packed everything or why she did it that way was mind-numbingly like exploding in my brain of like, why would you fucking do this? Why is there a boot in with your toilet paper? This doesn't make any sense to me, but definitely worth picking up. Deep Rock Galactic, I will give a 6 out of 10. Unpacking, though, 9 out of 10. Fun game, really
good chill
really
game.
Like, and it's a good chill game, and it's got a subliminal narrative. Everything that you pick, like everything you get narratively, is all done by how the layout is. So like little girl going to college, graduated college, moving in with her 3 roommates, because you get a house. And you only have to unpack for the common room and your room, or the common rooms and your room. So there's 2 extra bedrooms. One of the roommates does cosplay, and she's got a Sailor Scout like cosplay outfit that she's working on and things like that. You find the D&D minifigs, and you're like, oh, I unpack my D&D minifig and I put it with their D&D minifigs, like that type of stuff. It's really, really cool. I really like everything that they did about this game. I cannot recommend it enough for people. So that's it. All right.
We did it.
We did it, everybody.
Next week is cutscene finally, right?
Yes, we are going to do cutscene.
Our new anime.
Yes, we are going to do a new anime. We did an episode of Patch Notes. So we are going to make sure that we have cutscene now started. But we did an episode of Patch Notes with Squid Shock. Yeah, it was like Squid Shock Studios for their game Bow, and you can find that if you search Patch Notes on any of your favorite podcasting platforms. You can find it there, and you can listen to it. You can also
IBIF.co.
You can also go to IBeatItFirst.com or IBIF.co in order to find all of our normal stuff. We also have cutscene that you watch as well.
Or LonelyHouseplants.com or ISuckAtGames.com.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, I suck at games.
LonelyHouseplants.com.
We have
and
that.
ISuckAtGames.com. Also, StupidJason.com takes you to the IBeatItFirst website. You can also find us Facebook, IBeatItFirst.com, Twitter, IBeatItFirst, Instagram, IBeatItFirst, all the things. And you can watch every episode of our podcast, as well as all of our streaming, at twitch.tv/IBeatItFirst. Podcasts are always recorded Monday or Tuesday, one of the two, depending on scheduling and whatnot, in the evenings, roughly about 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. So you can find us there. But thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. Again, a very, very big thanks to everybody that contributed to our Extra Life fundraising.
Yes.
You guys are the fucking best. Everybody that was on our team, everybody that came out and actually donated money, you guys
Thank you so
all
much.
fucking rock. Thank you for making me eat 3 gumballs and a handful of Carolina Reaper pebbles.
Thank you for getting me slapped. Thank you for slapping Eric.
Pebbles.
Thank you for slapping Chris. Yes.
Yes. Happy that we all got slapped.
Very much so.
That
All
was
right.
the best part. For the kids.
For the
For
kids.
the kids.
Without further ado,
Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.
all right, the recording is stopped. Okay, so let me go back through. I think we've got 20 of each, right? No, we don't.
20 of each?
No,
No,
we
I think-
don't.
There was only like 10
No.
of each.
We have 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. So 20 squats, 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and we are
Wait,
good.
I thought
okay.
it was just
No, because
these 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups.
Sen came in and did squats, push-ups,
Oh, I
sit-ups.
didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no.
So
push-ups,
Lake did squats, push-ups,
What's in
and then
push-ups?
Sen
Yeah,
came in
I
and
didn't
did
see the
squats,
extra
push-ups,
push-ups.
sit-ups. Yeah. So all right, so 20, 20, 10 for sit-ups. Let's get moving, everybody, and then we will raid out. And yes, Daft, P is stored in the balls. In the balls. In the balls. 1, 2.
Yeah, I can do my squats at least with my headphones in.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
What? 20. I'm already tired. Oh, all right, I gotta do push-ups. Gotta take out the headphones. Me, puppy.
Oh, look, Abby came in.
All right. Oh, all right.
I'm so glad I had 3 beers. Oh, thank you guys. Did my fair share of squats today. I've been doing ring. Oh, nice. It is fun. It is definitely fun. Okay, we are going to raid into dreams because I'm probably going to be playing Destiny 2 with them very, very soon. So, thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure that you hop in if you aren't already in Dream Stream and say hello. But goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Good luck finding your dad.